Oh my God! Why are you trying to scare me?
Because it's spooky season, boys.
It's Halloween scares me. Okay, isn't it like Thanksgiving season or something?
Yeah, in 2 months. It's Halloween first.
How about we just do the episode? Let's just do the episode.
It was one scare.
For me.
It was.
Do the episode.
You're dramatic. Hello, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Abby Perry.
And I'm Parker Carlson.
It's spooky season.
Stop it.
What's your problem?
Nothing. I just don't like Halloween.
Why?
Sue me.
Does it scare you?
No.
Does it scare you? Do you have a bad story?
Okay, stop it. Okay, please. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so what is it? Vampires, werewolves, zombies, clowns?
Stop it. Stop. Anastasia, start your segment. All right, go.
Since The Joker has been shown at various film festivals this year, there has been vastly different opinions on the film. Now, usually this is to be expected. Not everyone will have the same opinions, especially when it comes to the public and critics. But the arguments aren't necessarily just about if they liked it or not, but more about the content of the movie. If you don't know, The Joker follows Arthur Fleck, a failing comedian, and his descent as he becomes the leader of a terrorist group. There has been numerous worries considering the story of the movie, including sympathizing with a psychotic character. Arthur goes through various obstacles, such as rejection from his romantic interests and rejection from society. Many are pulling similarities to Arthur's character and the white men that have gone on shooting sprees. These mass shooters often blame the way society treats them and the women that haven't given them a chance as to why they felt the need to slaughter people. There's been a total of 316 mass shootings just in 2019, and there's a fear that the Joker could inspire more. The U.S. military even released a memo warning service members of the possibility of a shooting after finding talk of an attack taking place at the screenings of The Joker online. With the events of the Aurora shooting in 2012 at the screening of The Dark Knight Rises, survivors and the family of those killed are concerned as well, though they did not ask Warner Bros. To pull the film, but to donate some of the money from the movie to gun violence survivors, as well as to cease funding for political candidates who support the NRA. Warner Bros. Has heard these concerns and released a statement about The Joker and the chatter surrounding it from its critics, stating that they have donated towards charities for victims of gun violence before, but The Joker and stories like it are supposed to be thought-provoking and bring up difficult conversations. There are, of course, people who think all these protests about the film is ridiculous, including the director, Todd Phillips, who had this to say about the controversy. Neither the fictional character Joker nor the film is an endorsement of real-world violence of any kind. It is not the intention of the film, the filmmakers, or the studio to hold this character up as a hero. Many who have enjoyed the film have accused all the fears surrounding it to be from a place of ignorance, as the Joker hasn't been released to the public and won't be until October 4th. Whatever side you're on, the movie has received critical acclaim, and if you want to see it, it is being released in the US October 4th.
Thank you for that insane segment.
Is it over, Abby?
Yeah, you can come out now. The scary segment isn't going to get you.
Oh, good. Oh.
So is it clowns?
Can we move on now?
But what's the story, Parker?
I said I don't want to talk about it.
But I want to know about it.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to know, okay? I want to know about Stranger Things Season 4.
Okay, I guess so. Take it away, Ben.
I'm Ben Nelson, and on Monday morning, Netflix released the teaser trailer for Stranger Things Season 4. Looks like the Hawkins train isn't slowing down anytime soon. Or is it? While many fans are excited for a new season being announced only 2 months after Season 3 premiered, speculation as to what's next for the Hawkins crew is going forward. The trailer starts off normal enough when suddenly the screen glows bright white with black fog enveloping the title. We then see the title appearing in the Upside Down, a place that mirrors our own, but completely enveloped by darkness and monsters. We then see black vines start to grow and consume the title shot until it is totally engulfed in shrubbery. Suddenly, there is a blank screen reading 5 words. We're not in Hawkins anymore. While the words are being revealed, the 5 chimes of a large bell can be heard. Fan speculation immediately erupted around social media as to what this message means to the show. Many claim that the majority of the runtime is going to take place in the Upside Down. Others claim that, spoilers for season 3, that Hopper survived or was transported and is taking residence in the Upside Down and the rest of the cast have to rescue him. Some have even fancied the thought that the crew are taking a field trip out of the States and that the bell is Big Ben and that the characters are to be in London for a large chunk of season 4. No release date has been announced as of yet. Back to you, Parker.
That was a really strange segment. Thanks, Ben.
Okay, aside from the puns, why won't you just tell me?
I thought we were done talking about this.
But here's the thing, it's not over until I say it's over, you know?
Let's get through the rest of the episode, then maybe I'll tell you.
Okay, deal. Pinky promise?
Fine. But first, let's just see what's opening this weekend.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Hey, stop them! Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Love you to the moon and back.
You know Michael Collins,
Of course, Apollo 11 flew the command module for Neil and Buzz.
so you know that after he dropped them, he circled the moon for hours. Inside the module, he wrote, "I am now truly alone, and absolutely alone from any known life. I am it."
Amen. I need to get back up there.
You're not getting any younger, so you're just gonna have to work harder.
Look at you, straight arrow. You've never done a thing wrong in your life.
I've done plenty of things wrong.
Really? Hit me.
No has sido un buen hijo mío.
No.
No.
¿Qué haces aquí?
Tengo que hablar contigo. 32 años me ha costado reconciliarme con esta película.
Si no escribes ni ruedas, ¿qué vas a hacer?
Vivir, supongo.
Ten cuidado conmigo,
Tú eres muy novelero.
Estoy con Salvador Mayo.
Si tú ves algo raro, me llamas. Aquí todo es raro.
All right, that's one breakdown. Speaking of breakdowns, I get to find out your story soon.
You don't get to reference it either.
Don't worry, Parker, I'm just clowning around. Okay, I'm sorry. Do we have beef now, or?
Beef? Isn't Marcos talking about beef?
Yeah, but that's Disney beef.
Disney? Disney has beef? What kind?
No, like the mouse, right, Marcos?
Wait, mouse?
Miss Hannah, I'm taking all your fanas. The war cry of a generation. During the middle of the early 2000s, there was a feud boiling that was both secret and very, very apparent. And most of it is due to the Jonas Brothers. All the icons of our childhood were present. Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, even Taylor Swift got involved because why wouldn't she? It all started when Selena stole Nick Jonas from Miley. To make these matters worse, almost everyone in this love nonagon was involved in a charity commercial called Friends for Change. If you watch it again with this knowledge, you can see the hatred in Miley's eyes. Later, Miley and her friend Mandy made fun of a YouTube clip that Selena and Demi made. After a while, Selena and Nick called it quits. She then moved on to Justin Bieber, who Miley had been hanging out with a lot before their relationship. After Selena and Justin broke up, Miley and him began hanging out more frequently again. Finally, in 2015, Miley unfollowed Demi Lovato, who at this particular point was Selena's ride or die friend. Miley also threw a cardboard cutout of Selena's face on the stage when she performed her song F You. Take what you will from that. Moving on, if you are at all familiar with Disney original movies, you've likely heard of Camp Rock. You know, the one where Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas's characters fall in love. And guess what? They actually did fall in love. Only issue was Joe Jonas had been dating Taylor Swift about a year prior. Some of you may wonder why that's a big deal. Celebrities get together all the time after a production and it almost never works out. But I believe Demi's intentions were more sinister than what was commonly perceived. You see, Demi and Selena were really close friends, but something happened in 2010. During an event, fans asked her how her friend Selena was doing, and then Demi retorted with, "I don't know, why don't you ask Taylor?" Juicy stuff, right? Now, Demi and Selena eventually made up and they got mad at each other again, and this cycle just repeats itself quite a few times. The one thing that hasn't changed is that Demi does not care for Taylor. She has called her out multiple times in the past for using her past relationships to sell songs, for being a fake feminist, and just threw shade in her general direction. Now, we can all speculate on whether celebrities following each other on Instagram is a big deal, but one thing that cannot be denied is the hand that the Jonas Brothers, purity rings and all, played in what would become entertainment gossip for years to come. Except for Kevin, he was just kind of there. But Nick and Joe were obviously the showrunners, and I like to think that this was a promotional stunt by Disney high-ups to ruin the careers of celebrities who had recently outgrown the squeaky clean Disney Channel brand. So thank you to all the major players at Disney Channel in 2009 for bringing fans who grew up along with you on your journey of ever-evolving drama. And shout out to the Jonas Brothers for making it all happen. I'm Marcos Carranza, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks for bringing me back to my childhood. Speaking of childhood, how damaged was yours?
We still have our final words to go.
But the damage.
But the mouse beef, okay?
Parker, it was just a segment about our childhood. Just like how I want to know about yours and the clowns.
You are really, really bad at keeping pinky promises.
I know. A pinky promise is a pinky promise. And you know what? If you tell me now, I might actually be your friend after.
Really? Wow.
Definitely.
Okay, well, I'll tell you.
Things fine.
They're gaining on us!
Was this your dad's violin?
My dad used to play for me every night, like he was telling me that no matter how hard the journey gets, never give up. It's beautiful!
You did that, Yi?
I did that?
When Yi sets her mind on something, nothing is impossible.
Should we really go on with it?
You mean leave Downton? Downton Abbey's the heart of this community, and you're keeping it beating.
Remember to pray for us.
I'll put in a word.
Your Majesty.
And when would you say that things got out of control?
Please help! This is my husband!
So Went back 3 more times. Guess you must have liked it.
Back streets, back, or something like that. The band may not be here in the studio with us, but Nick Carter has been all over the internet with us. This may seem like this isn't a crazy thing, but trust me, it's crazy. So Nick Carter recently tweeted out that he was seeking a restraining order against his younger brother, Aaron Carter. Aaron's twin sister, Angel, is also seeking a restraining order. Nick said that the reason was, quote, in light of Aaron's increasingly alarming behavior and his recent confession that he harbors thoughts and intentions of killing my pregnant wife and unborn child, end quote. He posted this with hashtag gun control now and hashtag mental health. Aaron has, of course, denied the accusations, and he says that he'll only be showing up to court for Angel, and he has no intention to fix things with Nick. Now, despite claiming that he has no intention to hurt anyone, he has certainly not been making a convincing argument that he's doing okay in media recently. First, he got a face tattoo of Medusa. He also posted a picture of himself rocking the new tattoo with the caption, quote, I'm the biggest thing in music right now. I can't be denied. Fact check me, end quote. Unfortunately, we don't need to fact check him. We all know this statement has not been true since the release of I Want Candy. The artist has also had a past and criminal past with drugs and alcohol. Now, I'm not here to say who is right and wrong in this argument, but I think it's worth mentioning that yet another childhood star is struggling with mental health and criminal charges. Let's look at this for a second. Miley Cyrus went through a huge phase of just doing crazy things and experimenting with drugs. Demi Lovato has been in and out of rehab for drug use. Allison Stoner recently came clean about an eating disorder. Justin Bieber got into trouble here and there. Lindsay Lohan, I don't need to explain that one. Britney Spears shaved her head. And even my childhood queen, Amanda Bynes, she has had drug problems. The list just goes on and on and on. My point in bringing that up is that there's clearly a trend here. A large majority of childhood stars are ending up in jail, becoming drug addicts, having nude scandals, getting DUIs, or just facing struggles with mental health. I'm obviously not saying to stop making children famous. That would be unrealistic and pretty bold. I am, however, suggesting that we start analyzing this fact a little more. There has to be some sort of way to help reduce these incidents. As a child in the spotlight, they should have some sort of counseling available to them or on set. Parents and directors should be careful with how much they make them work. One common statement from the stars is, quote, I'm finally being who I want to be, end quote. That makes me so sad, but I guess there's no surefire solution we can meet here. I just hope people hiring kids can see these trends and try to help them. Let these kids express themselves a little more and realize that they don't understand what contracts can truly do to them when they're signing them. Let child stars be, well, children. That's all from me today. Parker?
Very well spoken.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good. We're living in the age of remakes. If you look at a schedule for upcoming releases, tons and tons of reboots and remakes are getting released, especially if you look at everything that Disney is doing, given that they've remade Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, The Jungle Book, Tarzan, Dumbo, Aladdin. There's literally too many to count, and they're only adding to this list. Thing is, how many of these remakes are actually good? None. They're all forgettable. All of them, including every remake in general, try to emulate the first, but either remove parts of what made the original so enchanting or add unnecessary filler that nobody asked for. In Disney's case, they've only been focusing on giving their classic movies a facelift by translating them into live-action experiences. While they look pretty, nobody's ever wanted to see a CGI elephant fly with big ears instead of just watching the original animated Dumbo. But why am I complaining about this right now? Everybody agrees. Well, I've been a little addicted to playing the recent reboot of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening on Switch. I know we don't really talk about video games here, but this connects, trust me. I love it, and honestly, I can't find any faults with the game. My opinions are shared by everybody I know, and every single critical review of the game shares the same opinion. So there's a discrepancy here. Why can Nintendo, which is practically the Disney of video game industry, create a reboot of one of their fan favorite original titles with the only difference being a facelift? I mean, Link's Awakening on Switch is literally the exact same game, but instead of a 3-pixel blob of characters, they're adorable toy-like figures. And only a handful of original complaints got fixed in the reboot, and that's it. It's exactly the same. And I think that's where a reboot can really exceed expectations. Sure, it's harder to do on the silver screen, but it can be done. Instead of rebooting the original title to be vastly different than the animated version, to provide an experience we've never seen before, Nintendo just tries to replicate how we remember it, especially through our nostalgia. That's what Disney should be doing if they want to succeed with their upcoming remakes like Mulan. Don't cut out fan favorite characters like Mushu or Li Shang. Just use the new technology to improve on the animation quality of the original. Then people will be flocking to see it, and even I admittedly would go and see it. But hey, that's just what I've been thinking about. There's literal boardrooms filled with suits that keep on making these decisions based on actual facts and statistics. So clearly something is going right. I personally think that aiming at nostalgia is a tried and true technique that can always work with remakes.
Great job, Parker. So it's the end. And I never actually heard your story because you got cut off earlier.
Dang it. Oh no, I thought I got it out.
Nope, you gotta spill it now.
It was my 7th birthday party on a Tuesday night. We had school the next morning. Odd, since my birthday is in the middle of June. But so everybody was already pretty stressed. Recess, reading, you know the drill. We've all been there. So there's this carnival in town, and I thought, what better way to celebrate my birthday than a carnival, Abby, a carnival.
That's true.
My parents agreed. They took me and 7 of my closest friends, 7th birthday and all.
Oh, that's cute.
Ironically, the numbers have dropped off with the years, but that's besides the point. Anywho, we go to the carnival and things were going great. I rode all of my favorite rides, ate all of my favorite foods, the tilt-a-whirl, the octopus. My parents even put a candle on a funnel cake. Only one, but again, that's besides the point. Funnel cakes are amazing, by the way. Okay. But it was my birthday. And so the workers at the carnival had a special surprise for me. A free balloon animal.
That's pretty dope.
Brings a tear to my eye. Now, normally, any kid would be happy just to have any balloon animal. But since it was my birthday, they let me have whatever animal I wanted. Not just the snake or the horse. They told me, and I got so happy. I sat on the bench and waited for them to come over with the balloon animal.
So this is the climax.
And when I turned around, I realized that the maker of my greatest gift was, in fact, a clown. Not just any clown, a rodeo clown. I have never been so frozen with fear. I couldn't feel anything until it trickled down my leg. I realized in that moment that 7 of my closest friends had just watched me urinate my pants. I cried, as I cry today, hysterically. Also, besides the point, the next day I went to school and they called me Peeker Clownerson. And they were no longer my friends. And it followed me. It followed me into the day I graduated, and honestly, I thought it would never have been brought up again. But yet, here we are. What are you doing?
Nothing. Don't. Go away. Go. Okay. Okay, buddy. If you want more from us here at The Real Deal, check out our Facebook, Twitter, and website for all things entertainment. I'm your host, Abby Perry, and he's Peter Clownerson.